Hey, you guys, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. So, have you ever paused and thought about just the power of your mindset? Some people call it manifesting, others call it speaking life over yourself. My friend, Dr. John Deloney, says behavior change isn't about tactical steps, but creating a mindset of who you want to be. James Clear kind of has that same idea with Atomic Habits, a book that he wrote. Now, whatever you want to call it, just know that there is so much power in shifting your outlook, especially if you're working through important financial goals. So today, I want to show you how to create a millionaire mindset. So if you're in a season where you're struggling to see progress, this episode will give you hope and action steps so that you can create the mindset shift that you need. So before we talk about my millionaire mindset, I want to tell you about Telestrations. So Telestrations is a board game that is so much fun. Okay, just think of like some guessing, some drawing, some laughter, like all those things mixed together. That is Telestration. So think about the old school game of telephone and Pictionary together. You guys, I'm telling you, this game is so fun. And if you're terrible at drawing like I am, it is still a great time. You can play with your kids, you can play with your family, with your neighbors, whoever is around, this game is for you. So make sure you buy Telestrations at Walmart or wherever you buy board games. All right, the first step in creating your millionaire mindset is to visualize the person that you want to become. So kind of think vision board-esque. What kind of things do you want to be true for you financially? I mean, ask yourself questions like, do you want to be able to cover emergencies without stress? Do you want to live well in retirement? Do you want to own your own home? Now, realistically, outside forces will always play a factor. Things like job loss, unexpected health expenses, or even past money mistakes are all a factor that you may have to face head on at some point. But at the end of the day, you get to decide who and what you want to become. So progress begins when you define where you want to go. And you want to take action from there. So you want to start with the end in mind and work your way back. So for example, when I talk to people about their money goals, I always recommend the 7 baby steps as a starting point. And this is where you say, okay, baby step 7 obviously is the end goal, but you're gonna start with baby step 1, which is just to get $1,000 in the bank. And then you're gonna move on to pay off your debt, get a fully funded emergency fund, save for retirement, and go down the line until you are completely debt-free, building wealth and being very generous on baby step 7. But you wanna know where you're going. You wanna plan. Like we talk about being intentional with your money, with a budget. That is a plan that is looking forward into the month and saying, hey, here is where my money is going. And you want to do the same thing for your life. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to become? All right, before we talk about step 2, I want to talk to you about one of our sponsors. So guys, we are all looking for ways to save, especially on healthcare costs. So do yourself a favor and check out Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's biblically based health cost sharing that could keep your budget under control. Learn more today at chministries.org/budgets. All right, the second thing in creating a millionaire mindset is to know yourself so that you can know your money. So now that you envisioned on where you're going, I want you to take a look at where you are right now. I wrote about this in my book, Know Yourself, Know Your Money. And what's really key is understanding why you're doing the things you're doing with money. So if you want to change your money habits, if you want to change your money outcome, you have to understand why you're doing all of this in the first place. And that may be from looking at, your childhood and how you grew up. Was money talked about? Was it not talked about? Was money a stressful point in your household growing up? Was it something that just was never even mentioned? You didn't feel anything when it comes to it because there was nothing attached to money. And so you went off on your own as an adult with no direction. Like going back to understanding, okay, this is how I grew up, which may be why I do the things I do with money. It can be that. It can be your money fears. What are your fears around money? How is that motivating you? What are your dreams? Like we were talking about, what are your goals? And maybe even just looking at some of your tendencies. So again, looking at some observation about your tendencies is really key. Are you a spender or are you a saver? Are you a nerd or are you a free spirit? Do you like experiences or things? Do you like spending your money on quality items or the quantity of stuff? Do you want safety or do you want status? Are you more abundance mindset or scarcity-sided mindset? Do you like when you're giving for it to be very planned and formulaic, or are you spontaneous and you kind of move at what's going on around you? Who are you? understanding why you do the things with money is so key. And this doesn't have to be, to shame yourself, because listen, all of those options, there was not a right or wrong, but it really helps to know your current money tendencies so that you can make adjustments later and slowly shifting your behavior. All right, the third step is to come up with 3 statements that summarize where you want to go in terms of your money. These mantras are going to help you when it comes to grounding and understanding why you're doing the things that you're doing. So for example, yours might sound something like, I want to have more margin for giving and living generously. Or I want to change my family tree and leave a legacy of financial security for my children. Or I want to have the means to spend freely without guilt, shame, worry, or fear. But having those statements, you guys, is understanding your why. Why are you doing all this? Because a lot of changing your habits and a lot of saying, hey, there's going to be some sacrifice involved, you're going to want to know your why, because there's going to be some really hard days. And so saying words out loud is powerful. When you have those statements and you use those statements to really keep your eye on the prize, it is so, so helpful. And finally, the 4th step is to practice a mindset of gratitude. So keep in mind, success never comes because you just put all your work into it. You have friends, you have family who are supporting you. You have coworkers who are cheering you on. You have a church community who may be helping you. So whether you're a person of faith or not, I really believe that the Lord is walking beside you through all of this. And whoever is supporting you behind the scenes, they play a really important role into your journey. So be grateful. Be grateful for the stuff you have in your life, yes, but also be grateful for the people in your corner. But know that at the end of the day, it is up to you, right? You can have people cheering you along all day long, but you're the one that's gonna have to make the decisions. But just be grateful for those people in your life. So your behavior, your actions, your choices, all of these things can be traced back to mindset. So make sure yours is in the right place from the start. And you'll be shocked how intentional you are with that. If you are, how that can change the game for you. And I don't want this to sound like a magic wand, like just believe and it will happen. But let me tell you, if you keep saying to yourself, well, this will never happen for me, I can't do it, this will never happen, then you're not probably gonna put the actions to it. If you really are saying that to yourself over and over again, it's just not gonna happen. Then what's gonna cause you to be motivated to actually do something? But if you tell yourself, no, this is what I want my future to look like, this is what I wanna become, this is who I wanna be, this is where I wanna go, and I can do it. When you do that, then you actually have hope in the situation, really empower those actions for change. So if you guys want more information on all of this, because I know it was a lot, things like the baby step or budgeting or my book, Know Yourself, Know Your Money, check out RamseySolutions.com. And there you can register for Financial Peace University, which is my #1 recommendation to taking control of your money, because it will help you see real progress towards your financial goals. And make sure to send this to a friend who may appreciate a money mindset shift. You guys, remember, what you tell yourself, your self-talk, and what you believe about yourself is so key in this process. And just know, I believe in you. I am cheering you on because I know you can do it. So remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.